and welcome to Getting to Good Enough, a podcast to help you let go of perfectionism so you can do more of what you love. I'm Shannon Wilkinson, a life coach in Portland, Oregon. I am a recovering perfectionist who's getting better at good enough.
And I'm Janine Adams, a certified professional organizer in St. Louis, Missouri, and I'm lucky enough to be naturally good at good enough.
And today we're talking about taking on a personal challenge and the things you can do to make it easier. Hey Janine.
Hey Shannon, how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing just dandy. I'm excited to talk about what we're going to talk about because you have such exciting news to share.
I do. It is very exciting. I bought a plane ticket to Portugal.
Woohoo!
Yeah.
You pulled the trigger on this trip that you've been talking about for so long.
I know. I've been talking about it seems like for forever. And I can't believe that now I'm so close, given the number of years I've been thinking about this.
Right, and now it's just a few months away.
Yeah, I'm going to go for the month of May, for most of the month of May.
That's great. And this isn't just some trip where you're going to sit on a lounge chair and drink cocktails, I don't think.
No. I probably will drink some wine in the evening, but I am going to be walking quite a distance. I'm not sure of the exact route I'm going to take, but I'm going to be walking the Camino de Santiago, which is the Way of St. James. It's a pilgrimage walk, and there are many ways to get to Santiago, which is a town in Spain. And the way I'm going is through Portugal. So I will be starting in Porto, Portugal, and then I will be heading north. And it will probably end up being somewhere around 175 to 200 miles by the time I get to Santiago.
That you're going to walk, right?
That I'm going to walk, yes.
Right. And you're walking by yourself, is that right?
Yes, I will be walking by myself.
So you've been talking about this for a while, and
yeah.
I can't actually believe this, but I'm pretty sure I never asked you this. Why?
Why am I doing
it? Yeah, why that particular place, and what's special about the pilgrimage, or what makes it a pilgrimage?
So it's a pilgrimage walk. I mean, it dates back hundreds and hundreds of years. This particular route through Portugal was taken by Queen Isabel in whenever she was around. Was that the 13th century?
Queen Isabel of Spain, the one that sent Columbus to the New World?
Yeah.
Oh.
So this is the route that she took in whenever that was 15th century?
Yeah.
14, yeah, because it was 1492. Columbus sailed the ocean blue.
Right.
Yeah. So, but so there are these pilgrimage walks that are that start in various places all over that go to Santiago, and then there are pilgrimage walks all over the place that go to other destinations. And they originally were, it's sort of like making the trip to Mecca. Like the idea is that, you go as a pilgrim as a part of your faith or something. But it's really gone much beyond that. And it's interesting because while I was raised Catholic, I am no longer a practicing Catholic, and I'm definitely not doing it for religious reasons, since I do not consider myself to have any religion. But when I first heard about it, there was something that was just appealing to me. I liked the idea of the physical challenge. I liked the idea of the mental and emotional challenge of doing it by myself.
Right. That's
Yeah.
that's a big deal, I think. And boy, you're going to get some good thinking going.
I am going to get some good thinking. And I've been reading a lot on, training for it. And one of the things that a couple of people have said, and I'm surprised that more people haven't said this, but that, you can train your body, but it's really hard to train your mind to get yourself to walk for whatever you end up walking. Is it 6 to 8 hours a day for however many days it takes you to make your journey? Yeah.
So, in other words, are you saying you have to train your mind to be willing to keep walking?
Yes.
After 4 hours or whatever a reasonable amount of time would be. I've walked a few half marathons, 13.1 miles, knowing exactly where the finish line was. And
right.
It took me about 3 hours and 45 minutes. And I was definitely never not in the mood to walk farther, or B, walk the next day. So it's very impressive to me, Shannon.
That I would want to walk basically a half marathon every day for 10 to 14 days.
Yeah, really more like a full marathon. Yeah, I mean, if it's 6 to 8 hours.
Well, it's 6 to 8 hours because you stop for lunch and you take pictures and you, I'm planning to sit and draw, and, I'm not trying to do it as fast as I can do it.
Right.
It's a different kind of journey.
Yeah, but distance every day for all those days, yeah.
Yeah, so I'm planning to do 10 to 15 miles a day.
I see. Amazing.
Yeah.
So, I know you run. Do you walk a lot?
I have started walking more. And before I started running, because I only started running, I started running in 2010, maybe?
That's
2011?
What I was gonna guess.
Yeah.
I mean, you were running marathons by 2012, I think, so...
Well, so I started running in 2010, and my first race was in, I think April or May of 2011, and then I ran the Portland Marathon that October. So that was my first marathon, was 2011.
You don't mess around.
Well, that's why I wanted to start running, is because I was doing a lot of hiking and mountain climbing, and so I was doing quite a bit of walking at that point, up and down mountains. And I kept seeing all these people with marathon shirts on, and I always had considered myself a non-runner. Well, since I was about 13 years old, I had considered myself a non-runner, and but then I sort of got this idea in my head, I wonder if I could do, if these people could run a marathon, I wonder if I could run a marathon. And that's how I got started.
Well, I thought you were going to say you wanted a marathon shirt. You saw these people with marathon shirts and you wanted one because you like t-shirts so much.
I would have just bought one.
Yeah, I was going to tell you, you could have saved a lot of time and money by buying one. Right.
No. Yeah. Yeah, so my first race was a half marathon.
Wow. So you don't shy away from a challenge. Clearly.
No, I enjoy a challenge. Mm-hmm. I enjoy a challenge, and I enjoy sort of always working toward some kind of challenge. And I think I've talked about this on the podcast more than once, that I've felt a little rudderless since I haven't been able to run the way I used to. Mm-hmm. So I haven't really been able to run much since 2014. Mm-hmm. And so I did manage to do one 5K, but then, other things happened and I injured my ankle, and now I've come back from that. So I really, it makes me happy to be working towards a challenge.
Oh, that's
really
excellent.
like it.
And as you just said, it's not just a physical challenge, it's also a mental challenge.
Right.
And a lot of preparation. I mean, not just training, but I'm already thinking about what are you going to take with you? And how will you pack for that? And all those things.
Yeah. Well, and that's one of the things that I don't know yet. I'm hoping, I mean, the goal is to be able to carry what I take myself, to just, to take a backpack and everything I need fits in my backpack, and it's of a manageable weight, and that's good. If I'm, because, one of the injuries I have from that car accident is I have a neck and back injury, and so it's quite possible that I won't be able to carry my own pack. I'll just be able to carry a small day pack for that number of hours and miles each day, and there are porter services that I can have take a bag ahead for me.
I was thinking, wondering if you had a Sherpa or something. Okay.
Yeah, I'll hire a Sherpa. They're not allowed to talk to me.
Right. So you can hire a service to get your heavier pack from one place to another if necessary.
Right.
Wow.
Right.
Okay. That's very cool. And how are you going to physically train for this? Because is your ankle 100% after your surgery?
My ankle is pretty close to 100%. It's interesting that I really lost a lot of muscle mass from being not weight bearing in my whole leg. My whole right leg was shriveled. It was sort of crazy, how much muscle I lost.
You have such slender legs and ankles anyway, compared to, say, me. And so it's hard to imagine that you're, what a shriveled version of your leg and ankle would look like.
Yeah, well, my shin looked like a bone with skin over it. Ew. It was really disturbing looking.
Has it gotten back in shape?
It has gone back in shape. It's still, my right leg is still smaller than my left leg, and that may always be the case. Once you get to a certain age, you don't build muscle the same way you used to. Mm-hmm. But it's not something that inhibits me. But all of the little muscles and tendons and ligaments and everything in my foot and ankle got weakened from not being used for 2.5 months. Mm-hmm. So, that's a big part. It's not just the ankle where the injury happened. It's like the whole rest of my foot,
right, and
ankle. But yeah, so it's pretty well rehabbed. I mean, I did a couch to 5K program and ran 5K, which is 3.1 miles without stopping, which is a real thrill. I did that just a week or two ago.
That's
I hit that goal. Yeah. And so now I'm moving more into, for the next month, I'm moving more into endurance training, which is more heart rate motivated. I don't have to get into all the details of it. It's like a whole thing. But so I'm doing a combination walking and running, trying to keep my heart rate at a certain level for a certain period of time. And then as I'm upping the amount of time that I'm doing things. And then starting in January, then I'll start increasing my time and mileage to get up to where I want to be before I leave in May.
Wow. I remember when I was training for the half marathon, how time consuming it was to walk those distances, just as in training. Like, I didn't have a spare 3 hours today to walk. So this is going to potentially be a time consuming endeavor before you go.
It definitely will be. But I'm also hoping to make it, sort of a fun thing. Like, I'm planning on doing one long walk or hike a week, and being able to do that with my husband would be we would both enjoy spending our a Saturday or Sunday morning doing that. Mm-hmm. So and then doing the other training, but I also am paying attention to not doing too much training, not overtraining, because I am in my 50s and I did have an ankle injury, and my back is not 100%, and so I don't want to wear myself out before I get there.
Right, that's smart. And is this something you have to make up, or are there programs already out there for things like this?
Well, there are a lot of people who train on the Camino that are doing a longer one, like they're walking 400 or 500 miles, and so they're going to be walking for 4 or 5 weeks, and they just show up and go for it. They generally tend to be younger than me, or older, and go much shorter distances each day. Mm-hmm. So there are some people who have posted their training program, sort of how they trained, and I've sort of put all of those together into a table, and I'm looking at sort of what each one recommends, and then I'm going to come up with my own training plan later this week.
Cool. I can tell how excited you are to have a project like this.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Yeah, because it's really cool to have a very specific challenge with a lot of facets to it to get to plan and execute. What does Mike think about all this, your husband?
I think he thinks it's really awesome and a little bit weird.
I agree.
I think that's what most people think. He's totally supportive. He's super excited for me, and sort of doesn't get why I want to do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, he also didn't get why. Well, it's different, but he didn't get why you'd want to write a novel in a month either.
No, he didn't get that, and he didn't get. He thought that me running the Boston Marathon was really cool, but he sort of didn't get why I would want to run other marathons. Why would you do that as a hobby?
Mm-hmm. I'm with him there too.
Yeah.
But that's really, really, it's great that he is so supportive, and he doesn't have to understand it to be supportive. That's fantastic.
No. And he's going to be so supportive that he is going to fly to Spain and meet me in Santiago.
Oh, that's going to be so great to have that to look forward to.
Yeah.
While you're walking.
Isn't that great? We didn't think he was going to be able to go. Because of work. He has a big project at work at that time, and then he talked to his boss and the people that are organizing the schedule, and they said, well, make it work. Go.
Oh, that's excellent. Oh, my
yeah.
gosh. So you're going to be through with your big walk when he gets... That's because Santiago is your destination, right, for the walk?
Right.
And so then you guys are just going to... not just, but you're going to have some vacation time?
Yes.
And that's so great. It's fantastic.
Yep. So on all we have planned so far is he flies into Santiago, and then we leave out of Lisbon, Portugal, I think 9 days later, 10 days later. Yeah.
And when you're doing your walk, will you know where you're going to spend the night, or do you figure that out as you go along?
Well, my inclination is to do it as I go, but I'm going to do some research on that. Mm-hmm. Just because I'm not planning to stay. They have basically hostels that are for the people who are the pilgrims who are on the Camino, and but I have no interest in staying in a room with a bunch of other people and sharing a bathroom and stuff.
You're in your 50s.
I'm in my 50s.
Not your 20s or...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I want a reasonably... I don't want strangers snoring next to me, and I want my own bathroom.
And don't forget, you talk in your sleep. So
I do talk in my sleep. And sleep with my eyes open. So
yeah, you are a freaky roommate. I know this from personal experience. So I think this is good that you're not planning to share a room with.
So really, I'm getting my own room to protect everyone else. It's a necessity to save other people the grief of me talking in my sleep with my eyes open.
Right. It's so weird. So it's so funny when you said your inclination is to just figure it out as you go along. My eyes shot wide open because that would be, so the opposite of my approach, which would be knowing where I was going to spend the night to get me walking there, just knowing exactly what the goal was. I would be like fraught with concern over the uncertainty of not knowing where I was sleeping.
Well, that's funny because what motivates me is the flexibility.
Yeah.
Like I would love to, if I get to a town that I really like and I want to maybe spend, a couple hours in the afternoon and then stay there. This is the problem with having my luggage sent ahead, as I have to pick where I'm going to stay the next night.
Right. Yeah.
So that's part of it, that will help sort that issue. If I am able to have a bag that's small enough that I can carry and I'm up to that physically, then I'm more likely to want to be flexible and not make accommodations ahead of time.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Wow. So, are you doing in all these preparations anything that's like transferable to those of us who have less lofty personal challenges?
Well, I think the way you go about doing this is the same no matter what kind of personal challenge you want to take on. And the first thing is we sort of alluded to it when I was talking about how I started running is like when I have an idea that I can't seem to let go of and I keep thinking like, oh, I wonder if I could do this. That's a really big hint to me to pay attention to what am I wondering about, and what does that really mean?
So that's the hint that this is something that might be worth exploring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I start there, and then usually what I do is do a little research to see, what exactly that means. Or, in the case of like running a marathon, I didn't commit to running a marathon right away. I committed to trying running with the idea that, I wonder if I could run a marathon. Mm-hmm. But I didn't say, I'm going to run a marathon. It was like, I sort of start my commitments at a small level, because what works best for me with a challenge is for it to feel challenging enough that I don't know 100% that I could do it, but it still feels doable. Mm-hmm. Like it seems possible, but I don't know if I actually can do it.
Right, because if it's a gimme, then it's not enough of a challenge to motivate you. Right. Yeah. Yeah. So is that how this one feels?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like this feels like it's doable, but it's also a little scary because it's a much bigger thing than in some ways than I've ever done. And, but definitely that I've done in a while.
Right. Because we mustn't forget that you used to climb mountains for fun.
Yes.
And I'll never forget the time you emailed me on a Saturday morning and said in your email something like, I'm climbing by myself today, so if I don't email or if I don't call you or email you by X time, I don't even remember what I was supposed to do. Call the authorities, apparently. I'm like, what? Wait, don't put this on me, first of all. But secondly, what? And I don't remember if I said I would do that. I guess I did, and you were fine. But
Yeah.
it's just, you don't shy away from challenges.
No, I remember that. That was New Year's Day.
Ah.
Yeah,
Wow.
and like maybe 2013, New Year's Day 2013.
It was one of the less enjoyable emails I've ever received from you.
Well, I apologize.
Oh, okay. Now, that does lead me to think about safety on your journey in Portugal. What is there? Are there built-in? I mean, what happens if you sprain your ankle or something?
That's stuff I'm going to have to research. So I think I'll probably I think the easiest thing to do is to get a local SIM card when I get there to put in my phone, so that my phone will work. And then, that's one of the things to work with a tour organizer, even if I don't plan all of my stops in between, but to, get someone to maybe get my first night and my last night or something like that. And because then you do have a resource. If you have a problem, you have a local resource if there's a problem. Right. I also have a friend who lives in Portugal.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's sort of like I'm going to Oregon and I have a friend that lives in Oregon. It could be anywhere,
right.
But
well,
it's not like I'll always be like a 15-minute drive away from but
you know what? I took an Uber to the airport recently. A few trips ago. It was my trip to New York, actually. And the Uber driver was very gregarious, and we had a very enjoyable drive. And she told me that she's a tour leader of, what was it? Mountain climbers? Some hikers, some outdoorsy things. She works for half the time she works for a company that does these international tours. All right, I'm getting somewhere.
Oh.
So she gave me a piece of advice. She said, if you're ever traveling outside of the country, register with the Department of State, the U.S. Department of State. Let them know where you're going to be. And then
interesting.
if something happens, you're like a step ahead of the game. And
Right.
she said, she gave an example, a real life example of she was in, oh man, my memory, she was in Africa, and her it was with a tour group, locals, guides, and their camp was attacked by local rebels, and they were all kidnapped and put in a closet and locked in a closet, and their cars were all taken or burned or something. And they got out the next day when somebody came and let them out, and she got a call almost immediately from the embassy saying, we heard what happened, and we're sending a car for you. And they got her out.
Wow.
Yeah. So that was enough to convince me. So anyway, there's a form you can fill out online with the Department of State.
That's great to know.
Yeah.
I'll definitely do that. And the other thing is I have a credit card that's a travel-oriented credit card that has a concierge service that we've used before that is spectacular. I mean, the service is amazing. So I feel entirely confident that, if it's a travel related thing, not if it's a safety issue or a health issue, although they probably would help with that too. But I feel entirely confident that I could call them up and say, this is the situation, and they could help me sort it out, find a room, find transportation, whatever I needed to do.
Oh, good. That's excellent. Oh my gosh. So exciting.
Yeah. But the sort of the quick thing is to think about if there's a personal challenge that you're thinking about, is, to sort of notice these ideas that pop up over and over again, and then commit to it. Like, decide that you're going to do it. And like I said, you don't have to decide to do the end thing. Like, when I started running, I just decided that I was going to try running. And I decided what that meant to me. And then I sort of decided the next thing. Well, I'm going to try trail running instead of hiking. I'm going to try this race that was coming up. Oh, I did this. I ran a half marathon. I'm going to try the marathon. But so you don't have to, go from 0 to 60 right off the bat. You can commit to some interim goal. And then, sort of ratchet it up as you go if it's still something you want to pursue. Because you may find that you hate doing this thing. And for a personal challenge, it could be anything. It could be learning calligraphy. It's anything I think of that is something that you can't do now that you're curious about if you could do it. Mm-hmm. And so you commit to it, and then you just take action, and you figure out how to take action towards it every day.
Nice. And do you feel like you'll be training every day for the next 5 months? In some way, or preparing, I guess is the right word?
Yeah, in some way I'll be preparing every day.
Yeah.
And there's sort of two things that I'm preparing. There's, me physically, but also this, I don't know if you remember, this is one of the reasons why I took the cartooning course, is because I wanted to sketch on this trip. Oh. And now this trip is actually happening.
And you're a great sketcher. That's amazing. That's fantastic. Yeah. Will you be doing social media from the road, do you suppose, from the trail?
I hope so, but it entirely depends on Wi-Fi availability.
Right. Wow, that's really something. So I feel like we should tell people that we don't intend for your journey to get in the way of regular podcasts. So we're going to plan accordingly. No. So people don't have to fret.
No fretting over me being gone for a month. There will still be fresh content coming your way on a weekly basis.
Yes. But it would be really cool if we could podcast while you're in Portugal. So
yeah.
Who knows?
That would be pretty amazing. So if we can make that work, we will definitely do that. But no promises, because we won't know till I get there.
Right.
Yeah. But I have a couple of blog posts that I've written in the past about taking on a personal challenge, and so we can share those in the show notes that go a little bit more into detail on the steps that are useful when you take something like this on.
That's excellent. Well, it's so fun that you had this fun news to share today. When did you make your plane reservations?
On Saturday.
Oh, excellent.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's really fresh and new. Like, you're like only, you and all of our listeners are only like the third, you're like the third person I've told.
Wow. Well, I'm honored, as are, I'm sure, all these listeners.
Yeah, it's sort of funny. It's like it's been this idea for so long. Now it's like, oh, it's really happening. Yikes.
Yeah. It's really neat. Well, we'll talk more about it, I'm sure, as the months go by. But my mind is going to be coming up with loads of questions for you, I suspect.
Oh, good. Well, I will be happy to answer them all.
Excellent.
All right. And we would like to hear from you. Do you have questions about taking on a personal challenge? Do you have questions about the Camino? We'd be happy to answer them. You can give us a call at 413-424-GTGE. That's 4843, and leave us a voicemail. You can connect with us on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram at Getting to Good Enough, and on Twitter at GTG Enough. And of course, you can always reach us through our website, gettingtogoodenough.com, and our email, hello@gettingtogoodenough.com. So for now, this is Shannon Wilkinson in Portland, Oregon.
And Janine Adams in St. Louis, Missouri.
And we hope that good enough is getting easier for you. I just got all excited when I thought about saying, this is Shannon Wilkinson from Portugal.
I hope you can do that.
Me too.